going to tell you the story. I want you to watch this video, a healing of someone with a type of cancers known as lymphoma Hodgkin's, and then I'll tell you what was the outcome of it. Okay? Thank you. Would you please?
Right?
Any tumor anywhere in the body
Qualquer tumor em qualquer lugar do seu corpo
disappear.
desaparece.
Like this sign will confirm your healing.
E esse sinal vai confirmar a sua cura.
I will press
Eu vou pressionar
and I will pull like
e
this,
eu vou empurrar
and there will be no pain.
e não vai ter nenhuma dor.
In the name of Jesus Christ.
Em nome de Jesus Cristo. Não. Não faz isso.
Now, it really was like this. Something.
Toca aí, chama.
Como é que foi sua experiência, Rosana?
Maravilhosa. O pastor já esteve aqui e eu tenho um problema de linfoma folicular, né, que é um câncer no linfático, e ele orou por mim. Eu tinha visivelmente um caroço no pescoço e esse caroço desapareceu, mais ou menos assim, do tamanho de um limão. Você via em alto relevo. Hoje não tem nada. Meu médico até ficou meio confuso, fez exames clínicos e falou, não tem nada.
This testimony, great testimony, it brought so many people being encouraged, and others were healed because of her testimony. That was quite a few years ago, over 7, 8 years ago, actually. Okay, and I recorded it because it was beautiful what the Lord did. And that tumor just kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And when she finally ran all the tests, she was completely healed from a lymphoma. Lymphoma takes thousands of people to death every year, everywhere in the world. That's how it is. And so I was excited. And that was in Brazil. I usually go to Brazil once a year. And then 3 years later, one of my friends from Brazil called me and say, Argenis, he said, wow, what's going on? Remember Roxana? Yes, sure, of course. She just passed away. She just went to be with the Lord. He said, oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry we didn't tell you, but a few months ago, the cancer came back. And it took her in a matter of 3 or 4 months. That was an impact for me. And the way I'm going to start this conference is by letting you ask me all the hard questions. I hope there's some difficult questions on this. Because when God does something, he does everything is completed. Nothing is halfway. That's the God I know. And I hope that's the God you know. And I can say it because I have seen it many times. So that didn't make sense to me. And because of what happened to her, it made me want to find out what was wrong, if something was wrong. And God spoke to me, and he said, you need wisdom. This is beyond just laying hands and praying for people. And of course, how could I preach something like that in a church? Yes? That would make people, and then he said, look at me. Sickness, it is written, you will lay hands on the sick and they will get healed. But what do you do with the sources that produce the sickness? What do you do? What if God heals you and then the sources were not corrected? What do you think is going to happen? So are we saying cancer came back? No, another sickness just was able to come in because it's the same sources. That's what took me into this journey to find what today, after years of research and studying, applying, and seeing people and patients and everything, and look at me. People say, you're a man of faith. I am a man of faith, but I'm also a man of science. Okay? And I like to put things into the test. But I know today there are some specific allies of cancer, and as I studied, I also discovered that the same allies of cancer, they share as ally of autoimmune disease. That was shocking for me because I was like, oh, come on. So how come we're not teaching this? Why are we not teaching this? Is that a secret? I don't think it is a secret. Maybe it's just not convenient. So your question is if somehow makeup that you're wearing, it's part of it, the problem. Yes?
Yes, and all the stuff that they use.
Okay. All right. And we will respond that even with a video that you'll see there. But the allies of cancer and autoimmune disease, they come in two groups. We have exogenous allies and endogenous allies. And yes, and I'm going to respond your question because it'll be even more clear when we show the video, but I'm going to respond your question with a simple question. Look, why when a woman is pregnant, physician would say, do not dye your hair. That's interesting. So what the physician is saying, this exogenous agent you're putting on your hair to somehow change the color is so powerful, those chemicals, it can kill your baby. So that already answers and gives you an idea of how heavy this can be and how dangerous it actually can be. Okay, thank you. Somebody else with a question?
So this might be going along with it, but we are asking, how do you know what the source is and get it into alignment?
Okay, and get it into alignment, like to fix it. Okay, yeah. How do I know what the source is? I have not seen one case that it only has one or two allies out of officially 13 allies. But I definitely have seen that every single person who is fighting against cancer or an autoimmune disease, they all share at least three of this. Minimum, out of 13, three, for sure. They are having, they've been in contact and ingesting a lot of microplastics. So that person is literally wrapped in plastic. Okay, they have been exposed to a high level of heavy metals, whether it's arsenic, lead, mercury, you name it, they have it. Okay, and they have definitely been eating a lot of nitrosamines. So nitrosamines, which is one of the, so I just mentioned two allies. This is the third one out of 13. Okay, and nitrosamines, they come like this. See, fruits and vegetables originally they have nitrites and nitrates, and God designed that so that somehow these fruits and vegetables will just last for a certain number of days, sometimes weeks, depends on the type of fruits we're talking about. But then industrialization took that concept. What if we apply that to meat? Oh, it always makes you wonder. Every time we take something that was designed and perfect in order to apply to something else, that might not be the same result. And the truth is, then we apply that to whether it's chicken or turkey or beef, and look at me. If flesh is not alive, it should rotten. Then all those chemicals are applied to it, and then you eat that because it tells you it's approved, it's safe. Really? It's been proven, and you find it. Go and search meat that has received all this treatment with nitrites and nitrates. It produces something called nitrosamines, and nitrosamines are carcinogenic. And I'm sorry, I know it hits the culture. I know that. Okay, but the truth is the truth. Okay, and I want you to know me a little bit. I do have to travel, and my wife travels sometimes with me. And when I'm traveling, I have to somehow be flexible of what I eat. Then when I go back home, I do what I have to do, okay? We just ate pizza, and that pizza had pepperoni. So you can say, how can you dare stand here telling me not to eat that? Yeah. I'm not saying I know how much poison I could eat, but I will be careful if I had that on regular basis. Believe me, you're consuming a carcinogenic agent known as nitrosamines, and it plays no game. It really doesn't. Okay, let's hear another question. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to point out that Dina Melody Schaefer just came in late. I know. Now, our little group back here, the question was for you, how do you balance faith and science? Talk about it a little bit.
Thank you for that question. Really, thank you for that
It's a
question.
small one, yeah.
Yeah. How do we balance faith and science? If you see right there, you see Jeremiah 33, chapter 33, verse 6. It's yes. And so, I'm telling you that there is a God-given balance between healing and staying healthy. And that's the medicine we're talking about. How do you know you have been healed? You can testify. How do you know you're staying healthy? Oh, okay. So thank you for that question. It's very important because I'm a physician and my specialty is in nutrition and oncology. Okay. And so it has been hard, and I thought a lot about it to find because God gave science, He did. And then this pride thing came along and turned it all around. But thank you for that question. Yes, am I a man of science? Yes, and I have different. I have patients in different countries. Okay, Germany, Belgium, Switzerland, the States, Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Peru, and New Zealand. And I don't travel to see each patient. They contact me, and by video, I have the doctor's appointment for them, and I do everything. But you can count on me. I am going to pray for them because I do know God. He has no distance.
Okay. Is parasites what cause cancer? And does ivermectin or legal marijuana help with those cancers?
Okay. Okay. So we got two questions. Okay. And I understand if you search on Instagram and definitely TikTok, Facebook, you will get a lot of information. And most info, it's just half the truth, or it's just like exaggerating the how powerful this is. Okay, and so I must say this: whether you like it or not, we all have parasites. Okay, we do. Okay, so there is your gut, all your intestine. We must have a balance, and actually that's the main secret of staying healthy. It's how healthy is your gut. Now, in your gut, you must have a balance between parasites, some specific ones, of course, some kinds of bacteria, all right, viruses, definitely, and this some type of germs. Okay, that they keep a balance, and from all these kingdoms, your body designs and keeps the immune system strong. Now, when that delicate balance goes off, and you have, let's say, too much parasites, then it could actually become not the source of cancer, but an ally for it. Can we see the difference? I mean, I wouldn't say with pepperoni, oh, pepperoni gives cancer, even though I kind of call it that way. So just to be sarcastic, I actually do intentionally. But I would say be careful. Okay, yeah. So do you need candida per se, which is not a parasite, but it's a fungus? Yes, you do, but to a certain level. Once it's out of it, you're gonna get in trouble, or it's gonna give you trouble. Okay. So, and then you were referring about cannabis, yes, and you mentioned something else. Ivermectin, okay, and yeah, definitely, I've seen those videos, and there's a Hollywood actor who has promoted it very well. I've seen it, and what I can say without saying is that's not truth is that it is like when you're playing. I know you guys play. The main sport here is baseball or American football. Okay, so let's say that one. I don't know much about American football, and so I don't even know how many players are in the field when they come out. How many? 22 in the field against 22. Okay, so when your team from whether it's yeah, Oklahoma goes out, I don't know. Let's say which is the main rival against Oklahoma? Oh, Texas. I shouldn't even have been asking that question. See, Oklahoma team would not dare to go and play against Texas with 9 players. Everybody know what's going to happen. And that's exactly with that type of information. So say, so the information goes like this. If you take doses of fenbendazole or doses of ivermectin, it's going to kill cancer. Yes, if it is part of a team. If a person who has been diagnosed with cancer tries to do that and is missing the rest of the team members, God would definitely have to do a miracle. This detox is a must in our days. I mean, it's a must. You have to. I'm sorry. I mean, you have. It's a must. Well, it is a must too. Quite honestly, in many ways, your your poor liver is what a mess. Really. Okay. Oh, I love making fun of myself in my accent. I do. And it actually keeps me humble. The whether a person is sick or not, I would recommend once a year take a time so that you give your body a time to rest and restore. How do you do that? Fasting. Okay, depending on each person, there are many types of fasting. If a person is diabetic, they can just go ahead and call me or call a nutritionist. Okay, because when you fast, your body, your complete body, not only your liver, has a chance to be restored, regenerate to stem cells, and so whether you're doing intermittent fasting or you just go on 3 days eating only green vegetables, you take a decision and you go for it. But for sure, if you're going to be fasting, pepperoni is out of the equation. Okay, so that's one way of detoxing. And why do I say this? Because there's been so much emphasis on taking this supplement and that supplement, and I can take whatever supplement I want, and they are good. But as long I keep bringing poison inside, and this is not only in the States. Look at me. This is everywhere in the world. I've seen the same thing, whether it's in Central America, the Caribbean, whatever. It doesn't matter. It is the same. We're humans. We're the same.
Effects of sugar.
I'm sorry?
How to have is there's rumors nowadays that sugar and sweeteners are a superfood as far as cancer.
I wish it was only rumors, okay? And but it's not. And the truth is, fighting against that cultural setting in many countries, it's sometimes a lost fight. Okay, And yes, is there a tendency, I mean, tumors, and that you can just go ahead and research tumors. One of the tests that is done is that they give some specific type of glucose, and it goes and it travels. It's like this tumor calls it because it fits. It's not the only source of or nutrient, but it's the favorite one. Yes, sir.
So I just want to piggyback off that question. Does that apply to processed sugars only, or is there good sugar like honey, your monk fruit extract? Is there a better sweetener that's not susceptible to, exacerbate?
Okay, it is hard to get rid of an addiction. I know that. Yes, I know that. I mean, I got rid of that addiction quite a few years ago, and so I understand people when it's so hard to just leave sugar out because we got sweet sugar and salty sugar. Because when you eat in that bread, that's still glucose. Okay, so but if I was to tell you, I mean, if you're not diabetic, honey, it's okay on you. If it is organic honey, okay. But if you're also dealing with some type of sickness due to many years of eating what you've always ate, at the moment, the safest one, and they're not the most tasteful one, is stevia. I mean organic stevia and allulose. Okay, allulose. I wish my daughter was here. I will give her the mic to her. She's a biochemist, and she can tell you about allulose. If allulose, uh, it has just one fraction that makes it similar to sugar, but when you consume it on whatever food you're eating it with, your body would not absorb it.
I was looking at some sweetening substitutes at the store the other day, and 'cause stevia was recommended, and I was reading the label, and erythritol
Yeah.
was added to it, and I looked up erythritol before I bought
an
it, and I was
alcohol.
like, "Oh, that's not good."
No. Erythritol, erythritol, mannitol, sorbitol, these are alcohols and they were processed and they somehow reduce what is known for us as sugar, but still will cause lots of problems in your body. Okay, so when I say organic, I'm saying it's not mixed with anything else. It's just that. Okay, and real organic stevia is green, not white. And it's very strong. It can be extremely bitter, really. Okay, and so, but just going back to the question Kelly had, okay, this is an idea. Okay, if I had a patient and is dealing with some type of cancer, there is a list of do not consume ultra processed foods such as sugar or of any color, processed with sweeteners, processed stevia with maltodextrins, sorbitol per se, obviously pepperoni sausages, dyes, okay, processed cereals, corn, oatmeal, wheat, saturated fat, and I mean processed saturated fat, refined or hydrogenated oils, whether it's corn, soil, sunflower. No, look at those, all these oils are dead. And coming back to faith and not science, okay, it is exactly how it is with the Holy Spirit. Look, when you want the anointing, Holy Spirit is going to put you right there on the press and let that anointing come out. And it hurts. But he does not allow heat to come into the equation. So every oil that has been cold pressed, it's alive. Coconut oil. Okay? But most oils, they're dead already. Because they're ultra processed. Yes. From Belgium, and she was diagnosed with colon cancer about 3 years ago. And so here, this is her testimony. Okay. Yes.
My name is Yvette. I live in Belgium, in Vers. I was diagnosed of colon cancer with metastasis to the liver at an advanced stage. As a result, I was put in touch with the MINA protocol because I couldn't eat anymore. I was very tired and had lost a lot of weight. Once I got in touch with the MINA protocol, I followed all the instructions and advice offered by the protocol. And this allowed me to rebuild quickly and regain my strength. I could eat again, go about my business like a normal person. After that, I had colon surgery, and after the operation, a biopsy was taken. It turned out that all the results were negative. There was not a single trace of cancer in my body. Blessed the Lord, because I know it was God who healed me miraculously. Glory and praise be given to our God, the God of miracle and wonder, who has allowed me to live to this day. Anyone suffering from cancer, not to hesitate to contact the protocol.
When you tell people to limit sugar, because I have had sugar eliminated it from my diet and saw tumor shrink myself. Also eliminated all carbs really at that point. Do you also limit fruit?
Fruits. Okay. Each person or each patient is unique. Okay. And depending of the gravity of the sickness, you must take a route or something different. Okay. If I hear someone that was diagnosed with a tumor and just by cutting out sugar and some carbs, it shrank, which it can happen, it's telling me already that that was an early stage, which is great news. Yes. And but when you find someone on stage 4, and someone here knows what I'm talking about, it's a person here in the audience that knows exactly what it is being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Cutting off just sugar and carbs would not be enough. Okay. Now you added about fruits. Okay. Let's say this person is not diabetic. Okay. And doesn't have arthritis either. And let's say it doesn't suffer from blood pressure either. Okay, so we got these 3 things out. If that person was on an advanced stage, I would design a program on 3 different diet programs. So it'll be diet program number 1 for a specific number of weeks or days, and then number 3, and then number 4. And for sure, on the first one, fruits will be out because of the glucose. But I cannot put that on everybody. Each one is unique. And we will that's why I tell people, it's great you come to a conference, and I think this is good because then you pass down this information, but some people, my recommendation, let's just sit down. I mean, you're not having a doctor appointment with me. If you want to do that later on, that's fine. But take your time. Let me hear you. I want to listen to you. And then I know how can I come alongside and fight with you and for you.
Glutide.
Would you please tell the audience what you mean about semaglutide?
I don't know very much about it. I just know that it's like a fat-killing popular drug.
It's called glutamine, okay? And it can be one of the supplements that will help a person if it is playing with the team. Yes. Yes. All right. So let's go and see now the exogenous allies of autoimmune disease or cancer. Okay. So if we think one more, yeah, let's stop right there. So we got electromagnetic spectrum, and now can you see all those little pictures right there? You see a big antenna right there, and it goes that way. All right. So these electromagnetic waves, they have two specific areas that we have to consider. It's what's the distance they can actually travel, or the length of it, and what's the energy, the frequency it can actually bring on the person. Okay, so whenever you see an antenna somewhere, far, but you can see it, if you can see it, it can reach up to you. Okay, the energy, the wave itself. But the further it is, the less strong or effect it can cause on you. Okay, so people who have been living with, especially people who live in big cities, you guys have a blessing living here. All right, but if you live in a big city, which is all these communication things everywhere and electric wires, everything, you're having all these waves so constantly there, and you find a lot of people with insomnia, and people are just irritated. It's just that you speak to them and they jump on you, and you're like, "But what's going on?" It's not even emotional. It's the whole process, and they got this muscle pain, and they take something, and then comes back, and they don't seem to get rid of it, and they don't know what's going on. It is where you're living, and it's affecting you. Okay, so whenever you're using your cell phone, me personally, your cell phone has a speaker, right? Put on my speaker. Speak. Listen. If you keep it here, that's way too close. Maybe occasionally it's fine, but if you keep it there constantly, you are making that way too close to your body. Okay, and so as you see, yes, we have antennas and TV and all of it, and then you come close. You see the sun right in the middle. Yes. Okay, and then you continue. You see X-ray. Now it changes the energy it transmits. It's so powerful that it can change the DNA. It can definitely cause alter and cause cell mutation, and that's the principle of cancer, by the way. See, we talk about tumors. Yes, but that was not the beginning. It was something that no one can see.
Medical x-rays up there. What about like cancer patients, tumor patients, or autoimmune disease patients? They go for constant MRI.
I'm sorry. Yes, I know.
Radiation.
I know.
And then radiation, like I went through 6 weeks of radiation therapy every day. So.
And I understand that's what has been approved. Okay. And
but still have all these foods and things that they've been approved too.
Thank you for bringing that up. Okay. Look, I've done this conference long enough to know when I'm stepping on a mine. Okay. And I don't speak against no country, because each country, I mean, you think if a person studies medicine in Switzerland, oh, that's the best university. It's the same body. It's the same biology. Okay. All right. And so those are the protocols that have been approved to treat some specific autoimmune disease. Okay. It's showing that we should get to the point to change that. It is coming to that. But to come to that is to hit a monopoly, which is called money. And that one is not an easy cookie. I mean, this is a hard one. And I understand you. But yes, even though you're being treated with something, there are risks. And anybody can just go ahead and search. You just write it down, and it'll show you everything, all the studies approved from your government institutions. It will show it. Okay, and so then we have. Can we go to the next? Continue, please. Whether it's electric, magnetic, or radiations, which falls into what you just said. Okay. Okay. And yes, we have been exposed to it and we will continue being exposed to it because technology, we are addicted to this. I mean, yeah, you want to take a good fasting time? Go for a week without your cell phone. That'll hurt. Okay. And so, okay, so let's see the next one. Okay. Let's see the next one, please. Oh, toxic cosmetics. Someone actually asked the question. Yes. Okay. And I responded a little bit when I said about dyes for your hair. Okay. So whether it's dyes, nail polish remover, makeup, shampoo, soap, perfumes, perfumes, household products like bleach, detergent, Lysol, or fertilizers and agricultural, and pesticides, all of it. Okay. And now we're talking whether it's home or somewhere else, and then it's brought home. Okay. And so my patients, if they have been diagnosed with something like multiple sclerosis, which is affecting the nerve system, okay, I tell, do not get bleach because bleach would actually attack and lower your immune system, and your nerve system depends on your immune system. Okay, and so what happened is that before I have that patient, I say, oh, we have to keep everything nice and clean, out of bacteria, and they were using a lot of bleach. Okay, they didn't know. Okay, so go with vinegar and hot water. It's safe. I'm talking about deodorant. Okay, okay, it is a fact. If you're not wearing deodorant, we will all know. Yes. Okay. It's just a homemade deodorant. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, it's cornstarch, baking soda, and coconut oil. It smells good and will not be absorbed like all these parabens and heavy metals that the deodorant probably you used this morning. Okay, and that's exactly the point. The longer a product filled with heavy metals is on your body, the more it actually affects you over the time. But deodorant, how many hours? Every day, weeks and years, and it's go ahead and search on it. But your glands here, I'm talking about even more with ladies right now. Your glands here are so close to your armpit, and so these glands, they are like soldiers to defend you from any attack, anything that can damage you. So when those heavy metals come, if they see that as a threat, and they will encapsulate it. And so they are so close to, yes. And so when a breast cancer is diagnosed and they do surgery, they not only remove this, they go all the way up because they know all of it has been taken. And so, yes. And so that's about cosmetics, okay? But that's only one exogenous ally. Let's see the next one over here on the microplastics. Microplastics. And oh, this is a perfect one. Okay. See, I just drank this water, and I am sure it has been carefully treated so that I will not get a bacteria. All right. And then I'll spend a night in the bathroom because of diarrhea or something. And I know that, and I'm fine. But let's say instead of just cold water, I get a smaller cup, okay, and I want to drink coffee. So I just get the coffee. Oh, actually, I think this is the coffee one. Oh, so that's the small one? All right. Okay. And so you get your coffee, and it smells good, and you're drinking that. But okay, this is the container. whether it's solid or liquid, what you put in it, if it is, if the temperature is over 90, the microplastics from this container go into the food you're either drinking or eating, and there goes plastic. There goes that's what it's talking about. Okay. Yes. And so you go and buy up. You just go ahead and buy a water bottle. But it is cold right now. But you don't know how was the process of transportation from the factory to the store. And I know we're in summer right now. Okay, so now tell the person next to you, you're wrapped up in plastic. Inside. That's not logical, right? But it is. Inside, everybody's wrapped up. You cannot run away from plastic. You will not do it. It's not going to happen. You can try and avoid, and that will help. But to say, oh, I'm plastic free, okay? And so there it is. So that's what I'm talking about, this microplastic, which is an exogenous allied, but it's also an endogenous ally. So the next one is it's called heavy metals, okay? Heavy metals, whether it's carbon monoxide and or lead, and just think of seawater. You know, it's there, and it's been so polluted with so much of everything that every country is just dumping there. The longer a fish is in the sea, like a tuna, per se, the more of these heavy metals they would absorb, and then you eat them as well. Okay, so heavy metals, it can go from the outside. I mean, if you're applying some type of sunscreen that has all these heavy metals, well, your skin will absorb and goes to your bloodstream. That's how it is. Okay, and so it is for deodorant and other stuff. Okay, and so so that's when, and then I can show you about water and soil, which is right there. Can you please? We have this pollution, and look at this. Okay, can you show the next three? Soil, air, and water. You do have an advantage because you're here in this part of Oklahoma. The air is very clean. It is, okay? And I have a friend of mine, and I know after the studies are done, that water is going to be a blessing because that's definitely pure water. It's not polluted. And if you have pure water, you have life, and life because it heals. Okay? And so, and I mean, do I really have to talk about soil? I mean, go to where they're farming onions, or just to say something. And for them to keep all these bugs away, they have to do something. Otherwise, they lose money. And then these plants absorb that, or the onions or carrots, whatever, which because it's in the soil, and then we eat them. So it is an exogenous, external, but you end up bringing inside. Okay, I want to show you a video that actually explains that. I think it's even better than what I just said. Okay, so please.
Phone in its settings tells you how far it has to be off of your body. So you go on regulatory, click it. The very bottom one says RF exposure. That stands for radio frequency exposure. This must be 5 millimeter separation off of your body. It's about a pencil eraser. So they're covered when you get brain cancer because you put your phone to your head.
I always speak on speakerphone.
You bet you do. Distance is your friend with radio frequency, with electromagnetic fields. The higher rate of testicular cancer on young men because they put their phone, get your phone out of your pocket, get it away from your testicles.
I want to show your kids this video. This is wireless earphones, 22, 23, it was even up to 35 a second ago. This is the amount of radiation going directly into her brain. Now look at this. As I come further away, you can see it dropping, 0.1, 0.2, but let's look at wired earphones. All right, what do they have? 0.1, 0.2, virtually nothing.
These are the 9 most cancer-causing items in your home. Cancer-causing items. Number 1, plastic containers. 2, nonstick cookware. 3, aluminum foil. 5, plastic bottles. 7. Canned food.
There's actually one chemical in particular that destroys the whole reproductive system for both men and women, and it's called a phthalate. Phthalates are in all the fragrances. They're in our colognes, our perfumes. Our phthalates are destroying our endocrine system for both men and women.
How can we find out if that chemical is in something or not?
Yeah. So this is why I love fasting, because we get to take these long breaks from the toxic food. When it comes to our beauty products, there's apps out there to help us now. Skin Deep is one of them. Think Dirty is another app that's been put out that you can just scan all your products and see how toxic it is. It gives you a rating.
Chemicals in sunscreens enter your bloodstream. Before you grab that bottle of sunscreen, the first thing you need to do is check the ingredients on the back. When you apply sunscreen with those chemicals, along with two other ones known as escamsol and octocrylene, they can absorb into your skin and into your bloodstream.
Everything you put in your skin goes into your bloodstream. And the regular rule, and this goes straight across the line, is very simple. If you wouldn't eat it, don't put it on your skin. That goes for cosmetics and underarm deodorants and goes for lipstick and everything else.
When you get a tattoo, there are tiny needles sticking into your skin. After the tattoo, your skin will be in a terrible condition, and tattoos are painful for the immune system. The pigment molecules in the ink penetrate the dermal layer of the skin. At this point, the immune system begins to recognize these pigment molecules and recognizes them as invaders.
Depending on the color of ink, there's a long list of chemical compounds or heavy metals that it could include, such as aluminum, antimony, arsenic, beryllium, chromium, cobalt, lead, mercury, carbon, titanium dioxide, and more. In this study, 45 out of 54 tattooings contained unlisted ingredients linked to nerve damage, organ failure, and cancer.
Researchers found that more people with tattoos were diagnosed with either skin cancer or lymphoma. Tattoos larger than the palm of a hand more than double the risk of both cancers.
I don't want anybody to feel bad about this, okay? And I understand if you didn't know and now you have a tattoo, okay? And but there are ways to make sure that this tattoo would not constantly be adding heavy metals into your bloodstream. So there is an answer, and that's good news. Yes? So don't think, don't. I mean, I am not speaking against tattoos. This is just simple science. And I think they look cool. Some of them are really beautiful. Once I saw one, it was Jesus, and there was a cross here, and then it was beautiful. But whether it's beautiful or not, it's still the same ink, and it has all these chemicals and heavy metals, okay? And so if you have a tattoo, there are ways to constantly treat you so that all those heavy metals will not attack your system or your immune system. All right. And look, if your immune system is down, you're not protected. That's it. Okay? And if you don't have a tattoo, then do what Jesus did. Yes, you read Revelation chapter 20. Jesus rose again. He goes to heaven, and it says clearly he has his name over here. So when you have your new resurrected body, do like Jesus. So, but we're not there yet. I mean, okay. And so, you saw it here. You see what that this is serious, and this is why all these exogenous allies would actually affect people so much, and it goes slowly and years after years until it's ready, and the person gets all this process and problems. Okay, and so I'll speak a little bit more about. It used to be called Green Power, but it's the name has been changed now for Amenity. It's just I like that name very much, and so but Amenity, it's designed to help your body if you are doing the right thing. Some people think if I drink Amenity, I'm gonna be okay. If you're bringing poison, there's nothing, no supplement can do anything. Okay, so you have to identify what you're doing wrong and fix it. And then whatever you apply, it'll be good. I want to show you guys one more video, and this one is actually about multiple sclerosis. Okay, And so if you know someone who has been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and you tell, oh, she has all these allies in, this is for them. Don't keep that information for you. There is hope, and I mean real hope. Okay? And so let's just see this next video, please.
My name is Dominique, and I'm 41 years old. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis about 5 years ago. Since then, I had a lot of pain in my body. I could not get up out of my bed right away in the morning. I always needed at least 1 hour because of the pain that were so big. I used to be a football player and basketball player, and I had to stop because of the sickness. And a few months ago, my parents met Dr. Argenis Mena, and he recommended a treatment for me to help me fight against this disease. That meant changing the way I eat, changing my health habits, and at first, when I saw everything that I could not eat anymore, I thought, well, this is going to be just too much for me. But then I thought, you have nothing to lose. So then I started with a treatment, and I realized that it's true. A lot of my pains went right away. I was able to get up in 5 minutes instead of 1 hour in the morning. And I lost 14 kilos, which is very good. And I'm able to do a lot of things that I was not able to do before. And I really want to encourage people that will see this video that they try this treatment with Dr. Argenis Mena, because it's worth to try it. And you don't have to live in pain, and you don't have to live tired, and you don't have to go through so many struggles.
I'm going to stand right here so I can see. There is an 11th commandment. Yes. Okay, you want to know what it is? You really want to know what it is? Autoimmune diseases that have been approved, they all share few things in common. One is the allies, okay, which then is also shared with cancer. But when it comes to autoimmune disease, they also have another thing in common just within the autoimmune disease, all the sicknesses. It is known as leaky gut. Leaky gut. And if you know someone with an autoimmune disease, you tell them, hey, leaky gut. Hey, leaky gut. Because there lays the, I wouldn't say 100% of the answer, but yes, if they can really correct this thing that is known as leaky gut, which is basically saying your intestine has a layer of protection because all these good bacteria and viruses and fungus and they keep a balance. But if your protection, this barrier, is broken, then these large particles and large of these things are going to go through the intestine to your bloodstream, and then the person is sick. Once you address the problem, we see great results. Whether it's psoriasis or lupus, you name it. Okay? And yes, it is also true. If a person is healed miraculously from an autoimmune disease, and that person doesn't know that the healing does not include to correct the bad habits. And remember the first video I showed you? That's exactly what happened with that lady at first. And so her testimony, even though she's not with the Lord, she knows, and she's happy that other people are receiving the truth and the light to correct. because that's good. And she's your sister in Christ. If someone wants to to reach out to me, you can always do it by phone. WhatsApp is used in Asia, Middle East, Africa, Central, and Latin America. So you might actually want to download WhatsApp as an app. It's actually really good. It's pretty cool, actually. And but you can also always use email. We go to the endogenous allies. Okay, so please go for the first one. So we have nitrosamines. Early as we started, I explained about nitrosamines. They are carcinogenic, and that's the result of the addition of certain chemicals to meat. And what I said is, if flesh is dead, it should rotten, but it doesn't because some chemicals are applied to it, and then these chemicals will produce this nitrosamine, which is carcinogenic. So it's called also preservatives. Okay, it somehow prevents from the normal process to continue. The other one that you see there, it's colorants or dyes. Okay. Have you seen when you go to the supermarket, the great stuff are just down there so kids can see them and grab them? Oh, it's been studied, okay? So everybody knows that. Okay, so dyes are really designed to destroy people. They are. I mean, somehow it's like a copycat of what is organic, but it does the wrong effect, okay? And amenity, which has the three main colors that your body needs, which is bright yellow, bright green, and bright red, organic. Then industrialization will copy that, and you have these beautiful cereals, but it has vitamin B and D. All right, and then please, if you know someone who has a child with autism, they'll tell you about nutrition. They'll tell, oh yes, we know that a lot of the problem with this autism is connected, and this HDAD, all this hyperactivity in children, is connected to this processed food for children, which has a lot of dyes, and then you have all these consequences. So maybe, not maybe. Now the question is why we've seen so many children now with this that it wasn't when you were a child. You didn't eat that much processed or ultra processed in that case. And it is. And yes, when a family manages to correct that, they see great changes on their child, which definitely will prepare them for when they're teenagers. That's when it gets really bad. The next one, which is flavorings. Flavors. Oh, sugar. Should I say holy sugar or the other name? Yes, exactly. It is evil. It is evil. I mean, if you're giving sugar to your body and to your children, no, I better don't say it. But I'm just telling you, this flavor, and it tastes good. And personally, I love them. But it hurts you. So when you have this trilogy and you're so used to it because it's part of your system, your culture, and your trilogy is nitrosamines or preservatives, dyes, and flavors, you're ready. Well, almost ready. You are progressively damaging your system, damaging your gut, and getting ready for what is coming. And it's silent, but it's there. And it goes, and it goes, and it goes, okay? Now, the next one we will see here is heavy metals, okay? I spoke already about heavy metals, and I gave an example, okay? You love tuna, and because it's just easier to get it in can than is tuna with heavy metals wrapped up in metal, per se, okay? So there it is, okay? So you must change that. So if my patients, if they've been diagnosed And listen, this is not for you. You might actually eat it because you're okay, you're healthy. But if you have been diagnosed with something, you have to stop it. Because then you don't have an option. Okay? So all these heavy metals, whether it's mercury or lead or cadmium, I mean, it just kills and goes. It affects so much the nerve system. And talking about Alzheimer and sugar, it is so well proven already. It is amazing. It is amazing the connection between these high levels of glucose and Alzheimer. Nanoplastics. We go with the next part. Yeah, nanoplastics. Yes, nanoplastics. I don't need to tell you how bad it is. And I'm talking about to men right now, okay? Men, nanoplastics, definitely, they target your testosterone. And look at us. I know you know this. If testosterone goes down, you're in trouble. In real trouble. Because your best friend might not be working properly. And that's not good news, not only for you. Okay? So, but it affects everything. I mean, the whole hormone system is so affected on women. I mean, there's so much this diagnosis of hypothyroidism. And part of it is the effect that nanoplastic is doing in the hormone system. All right? And so, and it goes, and it goes, and it goes. When the next one over here, it's chronic disease like arthritis and diabetes. Arthritis, because when you've been affected by arthritis, the pain is so much that they give you a lot of meds. They are meant for you to have a quality of life. I'm not saying you shouldn't take that. I never said that. If someone tells you something like that, they have never experienced pain. Okay? But because it's used for years and then it brings all the effects and it prepares the body for something worse. Okay? And absolutely diabetes, I just told you how much cancer tumors love glucose. So if someone has diabetes and is diagnosed with a tumor, a malignant tumor, I mean, then we have to find a way to lower all this excess of glucose so that the tumor has less options on nutrition. Okay, and so once you have heavy metals, nanoplastics, the trilogy, nitrosamines, which is preservatives, dyes, and flavors, and someone has one of these arthritis or diabetes, and here comes the next one. When you add all these exogenous agents, allies, and you see all these endogenous agents, allies, and they're targeting the intestine, they will produce a disbalance. Okay, it would be out of balance, and then that is the time when the sickness shows up. But the sickness didn't start right there. It's been there in the process for years. Okay, so yes, I mean, I have seen patients with this. They have so much candida and it itches, and they got all this thing with the fungus. Yeah, and I know there is an intestinal dysbiosis. Yes, I know. Okay, and or when one of my patients saying, which I think you're going to see in one of the videos here, and they go through chemotherapy, and please look at me. I am not against chemotherapy, neither radiotherapy. What is necessary is necessary. Okay? And if I was fighting against a giant that's stronger than me, you need as many giants working on your favor to beat that thing. Okay? But many patients, when they go through chemotherapy, it will give them all this extreme diarrhea that actually takes them to the ICU. And they have to stop the treatment for cancer to correct this. And when they're ready, they go back, they start chemotherapy again, and there goes the cycle. It's because we have this intestinal out of balance process. So we have to correct that. And then once you correct that, the immune system has a chance to start getting up and getting in shape in order to fight.
173 grams. That's just one a day. Now wait, catch this. If you drink one a day for a month, I can hardly lift it. That's how many pounds of sugar. I think it's 4 pounds of sugar.
Drinking Coke every day can harm your kidneys. The high levels of phosphoric acid can lead to kidney stones and even chronic kidney disease. The artificial chemicals in Coke, like caramel coloring and preservatives, may increase the risk of certain cancers. Drinking this daily increases your risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and raise your risk of heart disease.
Do you want the cancer?
The what?
Do you want the cancer?
The cancer.
The can, sir?
Oh, no.
We eat on average about 12 plastic grocery bags per year from microplastics. Microplastics have been found in our brains, testicles, placentas, and even breast milk. So here are 10 tips to avoid plastics and microplastics. Stop drinking out of coffee cups. Stop drinking from plastic containers or bottles. BPA-free isn't good enough, so switch to glass or stainless steel. Avoid heating up plastic since heat releases more microplastic particles. Avoid plastic wrap.
Yes. I'm sorry? It's here. I can share this with anybody. That's fine. I found it on the web. It took me quite a few hours to find the right thing, but yes.
They have in the vegetable section the water. They say you think it's water that is spraying out on the vegetables, but it's chemicals that are being sprayed onto the vegetables.
Yes. So yes, I know you saw that part where it says eat your vegetables, they're healthy. Meanwhile, your vegetables. Yes. In about 5 to 7 minutes, we will try the amenity. If some of you can please help me with it. Okay. Thank you. And so that video is so good that it's a constellation of few things because it helps me so much and saves me so much things to explain. You can see it. All right. What about Coke? I call it poison. And in Spanish, and look, that poison in Spanish sounds really good. It's good. It shocks people. Say it's called veneno. Whenever I say, no, I don't drink veneno, they're like, what? Yes. Yes. Well, yeah, but it's on the video, please. Thank you.
Okay, so what question? You need to grow your own vegetable?
Yes. Okay. Well, at some point during the conference, I said we cannot run away or escape from plastic or heavy metals because all of that is heavy metals. So there are some specific supplements that would cooperate and make sure you get rid of these heavy metals. Yes. I'm going to talk about it. Yes. And that's a good question. What are those supplements? Yes.
So just to go back to your vegetables, what are you going to eat? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard bathing your fruits and vegetables in a bath of baking soda for, 10 to 15 minutes.
Or vinegar.
Something that creates a very alkaline, that removes the pesticides on the surface, of course. Obviously, they might be in it, but true or false?
There's some truth in it. We just cannot claim that's the solution. Then that'll be another extreme. Okay? So yes, in a way. Yes. Okay. And so let me just talk about some supplements. Okay. And this is remember when I said about having a team working all together? That's what I'm talking about. you have a long list of what you should not be eating. All right. And then besides that, then you have many things that you should not be wearing, on your body. It doesn't matter. Just correct it, fix it. And then you also have some supplements that would actually bring or tip the balance on your side. Okay. And so let's say the first one. Okay. For your nerve system. Oh, sorry, I had Jessica. Oh, I almost forgot about Jessica. Okay, before we see Jessica's video, she was diagnosed with a lymphoma, just like the first lady I showed you when we started it. And when I saw Jessica, it was in an advanced stage, and she had gone through a hard time because of all the consequences of chemotherapy. And when she asked me, should I quit my chemotherapy? I'm feeling fine. I said, no, you don't do that. That would affect your insurance. Okay. And so, but she started applying everything by the word. And wow, what a change. What a change. So she's an alive testimony. She lives here in the States. And I am so proud of her. She's a warrior. She's a warrior fighter. And so I just want you to watch her testimony. For you who are listening to me, I like to encourage you and tell you that you're not alone. There are many fighting this battle, but we are not alone. We are with God, holding His hand, and with our Protocol MENA program. One day, I found a protuberance in my armpit. I got scared. The surgeon checked on me and told me he has to do a biopsy. But at first, he must perform a surgery on me and remove it completely. When the biopsy results were given to me, the doctor told me, your results are positive for cancer. It took me a surprise, and it was very painful to give this news to my husband and my uncle. But it was even more painful to share this news with my son, who is just 9 years old. Well, he understood, and I was able to explain to him what was happening. When the doctor checked on me, he ordered specific studies known as PET scan, which scans your whole body. The diagnosis was lymphatic cancer, Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 3 was my diagnosis. In this process, I met Dr. Hennis Mena, who told me and recommended this program Protocol MENA. The truth is, when you go through chemotherapy, there are other people in the same process. And I have seen that I had a different outcome compared to them on side effects because they don't have this program, which had helped me to feel better and more encouraged. This is my testimony. Before I went through my 5th chemotherapy, they did another PET scan to see if the medication was working. Because for many people, it doesn't work, and they must do more chemotherapies with a stronger chemical. But Protocol MENA helped me. I trust so much in God, and I ask Him so much. And I follow the whole Protocol MENA program. The surgeon was surprised when he saw my test result because he couldn't find anything. Tumors had gotten smaller, and he wanted to show me
how little they were, but surprised he couldn't find anything for God's glory. Don't be afraid, my friend. I invite you to join us.
You're enjoying right now a super excellent tea called amenity. Okay, and that it is a process of 3.5 years of study, applying, testing, seeing the results, changing, adapting, until finally. And I do not say, "Oh, this is the panacea." If the person is not making changes, nothing is going to help you. I know that, but so many people have tried this and applied it to the regular life. I mean, on regular basis, and the changes. They always tell me, "Oh, you know what? I used to feel this, and now I definitely can see the changes." And I say, "Well, are you making all the changes? Adjusting?" "Oh, yes, I am." "Okay, then I know it's true." Okay, and so amenity. Have you tried already? Yeah. Did you smell the aroma? It's these herbs, all of them combined. And so in a minute I'll talk a little bit more about it, but let me just share with you some supplements that help many people, okay? And here let's see the next one. Okay. On the nerve system, if a person is affected in one of the sicknesses, there are some supplements that will help them a lot. Okay, I only show what I can actually, the page is not big enough for so many options that I actually use, but these are some, like melatonin, potassium, magnesium, and let me tell you this three together, melatonin, potassium, and magnesium. Oh, they are amazing. They are great. People think melatonin is just to sleep. Oh, no, that's just one of the things it does. It is great for your nervous system to actually restore if you're going through a process. Okay, and so magnesium citrate, and potassium citrate, they're just great. So when you put the three together, it helps the nerve system to restore it. And most people with cancer, they have a hyper nerve system disbalance. It's just there. And so but also, let's see the next one, please. For your gut microbiota, okay? You got Probacteri, Lactobacillus. I think there's one more there. Yes, Akkermansia. And please go and check on the web about Akkermansia and all the properties. It's actually recent, probably about 7 years ago, that it was actually really final all the testing on it. But it helps your gut to be restored, and at the same time sends the proper immune attack to where the tumors are. And so it's amazing. It's great. Okay. So some people say, okay, so if I start taking this, I'm showing you this just to tell you there are options. Okay. And someone once told me, are you telling me that I can go everywhere in the world, order on eBay, Amazon? Or yes. Yes. But you and I, we have been programmed. Okay? We have been programmed. And the best example, or the best opposite of example of what I can tell you, is this. When a person is programmed and they come to me, they have all the concepts from their country and what is right and what is approved, and I'm okay with that. But maybe that's not the only answer. I tell you, bees, you see them? They are not programmed. Science has proof. Whenever you heard that, you're like, whoa. It's like even deeper than the Bible. Yeah? Scientifically, it's been proven they cannot fly. But they don't know it. So they fly. Yes. And so it is with this type of thing. I know people are spending thousands of dollars. And I recommend that. Well, good. That means you could be a great giver for the kingdom. And amen to that. Okay, let's just continue. And I think I'll do one more. Okay, so we have for the immune system, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E. They're just great there because I want to talk a little bit more about amenity and some of its benefits. What is in it? It's got spirulina, green tea, or known also as matcha. It's got turmeric, ginger, collagen, stevia, beetroot, and the combination of all of it, the right amount of each, would actually progressively make great changes on people's health. Why? Because it's antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, antioxidant, and when my patients bring that as one of the supplements into the process of cancer, it definitely works really well. It does. Okay, if you want to find out, check on spirulina and what it does with all of this growth and tumors on people. And it's just great, okay? And but it's also anti-inflammatory, it's dewormer, and I have applied with people with skin problems, and it's really good. Okay, so it's a probiotic, that's for sure, and it helps with the draining all these heavy metals and nanoplastics because turmeric, spirulina, and matcha, they take care of that. They do. So at some point, you might actually want to try, okay? And so there are other benefits of it. And I wanted to share this with you. But in general, all I want to say is God has given wisdom so we can help people. And God once called me on Proverbs chapter 24. He said, go and save those who are about to die, those who are on their way to die. And part of what I do is that. And I do consider that mercy ministry. I do it. So I'm here to serve you. It has been an honor. I mean, this is my church. And you guys are my family. And I've come to love you. And my daughter and her husband, Tito, they've come with us today at these days, and they have enjoyed being here so much. My wife she loves you guys, and so I always say, Lord, how can I somehow serve those when I go to a church? And I know that if I bring this truth, I am serving you, and that's what I want. I love you all. Yes.
So he's gone to a lot. He didn't really go into detail about how much work he's gone into to put this together and figure out the exact right balance in each of these supplements. These are supplements that you all saw that can be ordered off Amazon, but he's gone to a lot of work and a lot of investigation to put them in the exact right balance. I can remember when we were in the DR last time, he said, I'm very excitedly with us and said, started telling us the story of it. So we've got plenty of these for everybody here. We're asking for, yeah, that's right. One of these, one jar is a 30-day supply. It's just a teaspoon. Yeah, a teaspoon and a cup of hot water every day. So this jar is 30-day supply. We're asking for a contribution for each jar. And we're asking for a contribution of about $15. Is that what we were? Anyway, we're asking for a contribution about $15 a jar. That'll last you for a whole month. Well, we thank you so much for being here. I mean, this has been 2 days of a whirlwind, right? But I think those above who have been up here for everything, the whole 2 days, have been so blessed by it. I hope you all agree with that.